Hi, this is Dr. Wysong. This series of videos on the big questions of life will show where each one of us is led if we dare to leave behind preconceived ideas and see where reason and evidence lead.
What the Creator is and is not. There's a natural yearning to know our source. We'd like to understand why we were created, of course, but there's also awe and thankfulness. After all, we didn't make ourselves, all the wonders and pleasures we enjoy. We might think a sit-down conversation with the Creator would be great, but that's naive and pretentious. An infinite Creator responsible for the incomprehensible physical and non-physical reality surely can't be humanized. Attempts to do so are what created thousands of conflicting religions, plaguing humans from our very beginnings. Besides, if we could do it, and the Creator multiplied itself so each of us could have a duplicate as a pal, we'd be irrevocably distracted from Earth life and its purpose. Curiosity, challenges, learning, conscience, career, and personal relationships would all be sated by simply talking to the ultimate guru who knows all, including the future. With such access, we would likely retire into a monastic life, perfectly content with the ultimate friend and mentor. Tao Te Ching tried to capture the conundrum of trying to know our indefinable source, quoting him, "The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name." In an attempt to know the Creator, people turn to religions. Then knowing becomes synonymous with duty, fear, holy book study, prayer, and obedience to religious do's and don'ts with hell and heaven consequences. Religions conjure names for the Creator like Elohim, Allah, Atman, Brahma, Buddha, Christ, Yahweh, Jehovah, Jesus, and on and on. A name has the effect of reducing the Creator to something we can be familiar with, like a buddy or dad. Holy books are then created with recordings of conversations with the named anthropomorphized Creator telling us what it thinks, how it feels, and rules it demands be followed. Such attempts at the impossible, for so many good-hearted seekers, consume them with worship rituals, institution, exegesis, hermeneutics, rules, clergy, proselytizing, and all the associated religious rigmarole, rather than the personal responsibility of pursuing truth and reaching within to conscience. What can be surmised about the Creator is deduced from the creation itself and its laws. Reality is the true reflection of the Creator. Unlike religions pretending to be that reflection, the Creator, or reality, is intelligent, true, reliable, and just. Moreover, since everything is one, we are connected to and part of the Source, and more so to the extent we merge with the truth and justice of reality. Agnosticism and atheism take root due to materialistic and evolutionary indoctrination. The inability to materialistically perceive or analyze the Creator is taken as proof of its non-existence. It also follows that if matter explains our origin, we're really nothing more than biological robots in a meaningless universe. Atheists and agnostics think they have put the final nail in the Creator's coffin by seeing through religious nonsense. They, rightly so, cannot swallow the idea of a personage who writes books copying pagan mythologies, demands belief in irrationality, and justifies horrific acts that should shock the conscience of any reflective person. Then wedded to materialism and evolution and thinking religion is the only way to think about the Creator, agnostics and atheists declare that the Creator does not exist, or they simply say, "I don't know." This forces them into untenable positions. For example, the atheistic claim that they know the Creator does not exist is logically false. To know such a thing would require looking in every nook and cranny in the universe from the beginning of time up to now. Until that's been done, no declaration of non-existence is valid. A belief and faith in atheism can be claimed, but that's about it. For agnostics, claiming "I don't know" as their first cause of everything, we must agree, really, that "I don't know" is the correct position to take for the Creator's essence, motives, power, and eternal nature, but "I don't know" is an intellectually dishonest position concerning the existence of a Creator. It denies the staggering functional complexity and roiling mystery of our world, which is totally inexplicable, other than by invoking intelligence. That they can clearly know. If we found a shoe on Mars, but no obvious source, we'd still conclude it was made by intelligence, even if we didn't know the nature of that intelligence or its origin. Every star in the universe, atom on Earth, and every creature is a shoe that demands intelligent causation, even if we can't know the nature of that intelligence or its origin. Once freed from religious dominion over knowledge, the heady progress in material sciences and industries has led to the conclusion that all answers to all questions are just around the corner. Materialism, evolutionism, scientism, and technology became the new multi-headed god of a new religion. But it's a false god, just like the gods of old. It's human fabricated. No biological life can arise from lifeless matter. No cell can transform over time into the panoply of life forms on Earth. Such things are completely contrary to natural law, experience, and logic. Yet abiogenesis, the idea that life can spring from non-life, and evolution are believed and promoted as fact, in spite of the thorny problem of lack of proof. Matter at its smallest, as quantum physics proves, disappears into a nothingness, best characterized as mind. Hundreds of studies prove life does not end at death, yet the prevailing sciences ignore these facts in favor of faith that matter and an evolutionary dogma will yield all answers. When the materialistic and evolutionary legs are cut out from under agnostics and atheists, and human-made religions are not pushed in their face as the only option, the illusion is punctured and new horizons can open for them. A more true view begins with understanding where we stand in the overall scheme of things. Now, in the associated graphic I have with this chapter, you'll notice where I show really how our knowledge of how small things can be on up to the very largest of things in the universe. We can see how puny we are and how outrageous is the hubris that our materialistic sciences, the notion that they can yield all the answers. Finite beings constricted by physical dimensions and brains can't know the infinite. Our physical reality is like an island in an endless, inconceivable sea. We must be content in knowing the existence of things we cannot fathom, such as infinity, oneness, timelessness, spiritual existence, immortality, and a creator without a beginning or end and limitless capabilities. Trying to understand the first cause without a beginning is frustrating, of course, because of an endless regression of the first cause needing a cause, which needs a cause, which needs a cause, and on and on. Such cause-effect reasoning, however, that this physical reality demands prevents the comprehension of the infinite. And infinity is a perfect way to understand our limitations. We can't understand or comprehend it, yet we know it exists. Neither can we really know gravity, atoms, space, or anything else at its fundamental level, or how it came into existence. Knowing they exist or using them to make trinkets is really not true knowing. The point being, everyone knows things that they can't fully comprehend. So too, we can know that there is a source responsible for creating natural laws, the universe, infinity, and us. That does not close our minds with a belief. It opens them to exploring true unlimited reality and discovering our purpose on Earth. Thank you for listening. Keep in mind that solving the big questions requires foundations upon which truthful answers can be built. so please work through the series sequentially. This information has taken decades of research, thought, and writing. Aside from the peace of mind the solutions have brought me, the only reward I seek is hearing that it's helped you. Feel free to contact me with any comments or questions at asifThinkingMatters.com.